trying that shit on me. 'Cause I still can't sleep without medication, and I let my thoughts run wild while I still think I got one, and I care too much about my reputation, and I'm tired of sleeping on this floor.
Hey everyone, Anthony with Interviews with Everyday People. Sitting down with a reoccurring guest. This is his, 14th time? No, I think third. You were on a Knockle in high school. I did an interview with you. And now
Yes.
this is going to be one of probably 3 more times you'll be on the show for the movie. This is Scotty McCoy. And we're going to have the cast, or what you would say, the nerds of Samhain.
Correct.
All right, so we have Tyler on the phone,
Yo.
who plays Benji. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember the other nerds. As I was just gonna do that whole intro thing, I don't remember every nerd in the movie's name. I only know Benji, and we'll get into why I only know Benji in 1 second.
Oh, no, that makes me feel great. That makes me feel so good.
So once I'll say your actual name, and then we can get into what character you play. But Scott Yagolinski,
What's up, guys?
your character.
Jason.
That's okay. Jason, and then I don't know Shane's last name, and the only reason I said Scott Yagolinski is because there's 2 Scotties. So Shane, if you want to give your full name and what character you play.
Shane Opolsky and Paul.
And Scotty, your character's name is Jordan, right?
Correct.
All right. I do remember. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I read the script once, but I read an early copy, and boy, was it rough. We'll get We'll get into that too. I didn't forget anybody, right? No, that's everybody. All right. We don't have Amanda in here. I talked to Amanda yesterday. But that was just like a solo thing, but we did talk the movie. So this movie is called Samhain. So we'll get into actually, let's switch this up a little bit. Let's do making of first. So how did this movie come about, Scotty? And then we'll get into everybody, how everyone kind of got involved as well. So give us a little bit about Samhain, and
Okay.
and we'll get into each character from there.
All right. So, yeah, as everybody knows, it looks like Samhain, but it's actually pronounced Samhain, believe it or not. So it basically came about when me, Ben Craig, and Scott Yaggs, we ended up we kind of wanted to get together and create a little mini indie production company and create a web series.
Mm-hmm.
And the web series turned out to be Samhain. I came up with that name, and Yaggs, actually, I give him full credit for Gravestone Films. And we decided to create it as a little web series, 10 episodes, 15 minutes each for YouTube. And we got a lot of people involved. We got Nikolai Cabana involved. And Tony, you were involved, and a bunch of other people we got involved just through friends and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as the scripts were written and completed, we had a couple meetings, and we were getting ready to go into production. And the borough of Frackville shut us down because of the outrageously demanding of road closures. But after that, we kind of figured we'd go our own separate ways. Tony got busy with his podcast, and he's got busy with what he got going on in life, same with Nikolai and Ben. So we all kind of went our separate ways, and I made Samhain into a book, and it's due for a 2020 release. But maybe halfway through the first draft of the book, I got in touch with Amanda and Shane. Both were involved with the web series, and we decided to revive Gravestone Films. And when we decided to revive Gravestone Films, we figured, why not make it a full feature film instead of an actual web series?
Mm-hmm.
So we rewrote the entire script from start to finish. So we, rewrote the script. We ended up having a couple of meetings. We went location scouting. And then we ended up going holding a casting call at the Rolling Meadows Clubhouse a couple months prior to filming.
Every time I hear that, I giggle. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We ended up casting our casting crew. Yaggs came back as the same character that he had in the web series. Shane came back as a different character. Amanda came back as the same character. Same with me. I got the same character, and then everybody else is basically recasted. And yeah, that the rest is history. And we started filming in August of 2019, and we finished filming in November of 2019, and post production finished in January, and we're now ready for the release.
All right. Well, since McCoy answered for everybody, I can attest to some of that. So yeah, I remember we're posted because at the time me, Ben, and Yags were hanging out very very often. So I think we were supposed to do something, and I was like, Yags, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I can't hang out at the moment because I'm doing something for this top secret project. And I'm like, my personality, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, a top secret project? And Ben's like, yeah, I can't be there either. I have to be there too, whatever is going on. I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about? So I guess, I don't know, I guess I was pre-approved to join the cult at the time. And you guys are like, yo, come over, hang out, see what's going on. So I show up in Scotty's backyard in the complete darkness, and we're sitting in his backyard, and I think I had a couple beers. Shocker.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
And I show up, and you guys are talking about this movie you're making, and I was like, all right. And Scotty's like, hey, man, I'll tell you about what's going on, but you got to sign this contract. I was like, all right, I don't know if I'm that interested.
I love how
Right.
I love how you made him sound like Tommy Chong, just like, hey, man.
Yeah. So he's like, you have to sign this contract so we could tell you what's going on. And I was like, listen, if that's the case, I will.
Sold my soul. It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, if I have to, okay. But I mean, I'm not gonna go and tell the world like what's going on, and I'll be honest with you what I think of it. And he's like, will you really? And I was like, oh, this kid don't know me. And yeah, he tells me the movie idea, and I not shit on it, but I was just like, ooh. And he's like, what? And I was like, I don't know if I dig that. I said, and I'm so. Can we get into exactly what a little bit the original one was going to be? Can I get into that a little bit? All right. Yes. So how this movie was originally planned was a lot of it stayed true. Most of it stayed true. Even from when we rewrote it to, like, I guess the final rewrote, a lot of it stayed, the core stayed there. So it was still a guy who escaped from an insane asylum. And instead of him being what the character is today, his name and stuff kind of not, yeah, everything kind of mostly stayed the same in that aspect, but he was going to wear a Michael Myers mask, and it was going to be a complete Michael Myers movie, but not a Michael Myers movie. And I remember pitching to everyone at the table, what do you guys think of the Rob Zombie remake? And you guys are like, fucking hate it. I said, so us scumbags sitting at a table in Frackville.
I love that one.
Yeah, for the most part, the unanimous thing was everyone hated it. And I said, oh, so us scumbags at a table in Frackville are going to... You hate Zombies version, but we're going to be able to do it? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that sounds stupid now after we kind of say it out loud. And I was like, why don't we get original and make our own character, make our own thing? And then of course, like the clown craze was popular. So Scotty goes, let's make him a clown. And then he turned into a full-blown clown. And I was like, no, you're missing the point again. You're like, what do you mean? I'm like, keep him the style of Michael Myers, but change it. I said, when you're making this killer, you want to make him so, like, he comes out, like, he doesn't choose to be a clown. He just, when he kills his first victim, he just happens to find that mask, and that becomes his calling card. It's not so much the idea of becoming a clown. It's so much as just, that was the first thing he found to cover his identity. And then Scotty ran with the clown thing for a minute or two, where he had like a clown-themed knife, and he was going to wear a full-skinned bodysuit. And I just think of this bodysuit, and at the time, Ben Craig was going to play Relic. And Ben Craig is 5'6", 5'8". And I just wasn't going to see Ben's chub in a skin suit. And I was like, can we please scrap this stupid skin suit? And I think it unanimously went through that wasn't going to happen. Now, meanwhile, Nikolai wrote notes. This is, a lot of people don't know this part. So Nikolai had a book Like literally, he had pages upon pages, and how he was going to break every scene down cinematically. His Nikolai takes it very, very seriously, and he had everything broken down to how each scene was going to look cinematically, and he had questions for every single scene and how everything was going to look. So Nikolai has all his homework done for this next meeting, and I show up to this meeting and literally everyone changes the entire movie, and Nikolai literally looks at me and rips up his stack of notes and goes, "I fucking hate you." Sorry, we're gonna curse here. Yeah, it says I can't stand you, and rips up all his notes and goes, "I literally stayed up for hours and did this, and we literally we're starting from scratch." And I'm like, my bad. I was like, I'm just sorry. Like, this is, some of this stuff is silly. And then I guess the idea was every movie he was going to change his persona. And I was like, and eventually Relic was going to turn into a wizard.
I remember that.
Yeah. Scotty did not.
Wizard.
Yeah, he was going to be a wizard. Then he was going to become Dracula, and then Frankenstein, and then
And a witch.
a witch. And I was like, please, God, dear God, please no, don't do any of that. That sounds. You guys were gonna fight him with Nintendo Power Gloves and that part I didn't mind. I thought that was actually gonna be kind of funny, but it was definitely horror comedy with more comedy than horror, but still try to be taken seriously with the horror. And I was like, listen, man, for our budget, I would steer clear of a lot of that your first time through, because that's going to cost a lot, and you're gonna be putting fake blood all over people's houses, and some people's houses were not on board with a lot of this filming. You know what I mean? I was just like, I was trying to be the voice of reason and not shit on stuff.
Yes.
And a lot of it stuck. A lot of it kind of stayed. I love Ben to death, and I'll tell Ben this to him, and I have told it to him. I said, dude, you're gonna be the worst killer ever. he's like, why? I said, you go to the gym, you work out. But if I'm gonna be playing Benji, and at the time I was probably my heaviest, so I was probably I was close to 3 bills. I was like 280 some. And
you had long hair.
I had long hair and a beard, and I said, Ben, if you walked in and you're the killer, and I'm looking at me and Yags are pretty two big dudes, we're charging you. Like, we're gonna fight you. Like, there's no reason we're running from you as the killer. And he's like, well, come on. I'm going to do my Ben. Come on, man. You have to do this, you do this, suspend disbelief. I was like, no. If me and the Ags are two big dudes and you walk in as the killer, this movie's over in the first scene because I'm charging you.
It's like two big trees fighting a toothpick.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a believable scene. Like, this is not, I know come on, it's a horror comedy. And I'm like, the comedy fact is I'm running from you. That's the comedy aspect of it. And then we order this mask from Amazon, and I remember putting it on just to be funny. And with the long hair and beard, everyone was kind of like, yo, that looks badass. Like, that looks cool. And then it kind of came into fruition when Brett was casted, because he does rock the long hair and beard, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's a little bit what I remember of the making of. And then I remember everything kind of fell through. And I told Scotty, I was like, dude, you're an author. Put it into a book at first. And then if people like the book, then you know to kind of pick it up as a movie again. So it got picked up. I don't know exactly how much of a change, but from what I've seen of it, it kind of looked like it stayed true to what we kind of left it at, but maybe some adding here and there. Yeah, but
a lot of it did change, though. I know, like, the
scene-wise, it changed.
Zapper and all that. We don't have a lot of that. Like, we have now marshmallow shooters and all that.
Yeah.
But most of it, like the premise, the plot is all the same. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not gonna wear a skin suit, which is thank Jesus for that. I love Brett too, but I don't know if I want to see his hog in a skin suit, in a morph suit.
Yeah.
But
Tyler and Shane, though, and Yags, they all got enough of skin suits on set.
Yeah. I had nightmares for weeks.
Yeah, just any reason for you to take your clothes off is you'll find it.
Any reason is a bad reason. Let's be completely honest here. Like,
Scotty nipples. No,
thank you.
I'm trying to find on Amazon quick if we can if that. I think this is it. I don't remember 100%. I think I found the skin suit. No,
Oh, the
I
skin suit.
yeah. Just for fun fact, if you ever get asked some history of questions, I think this is. I'll put it in the group chat. You guys will be able to see it, and if you guys want, we could post a
Okay.
picture of it. But isn't this
All right.
kind of the skin suit?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my God.
That is exactly it.
Yeah, take a look at that,
Oh, my
Tyler, and say
God.
like that was going to be chasing you.
I'm gonna post that, and I'm gonna tag Brett in that and see.
Oh,
hey,
no, thanks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, how awesome would that
I'm
have
good.
been? Yeah.
I'm
I kind of
good.
fall over laughing.
Yeah, that was the skin suit Scotty wanted to go, and I think he wanted to put like a flail, like one of those like the Pennywise things around the neck and arms and legs, and I was like, this guy's not gonna look good at all, man.
Sound like it.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's funny.
I'm looking at all these. There's actually some clown masks in here I really like now. This is exactly what we did for the movie, because actually the mask that you guys end up landing on, the reason we picked it is because we were actually going to maybe modify it a little bit and change some stuff up with it. But I mean, you didn't really have to. Oh my god, I just typed in clown mask and this popped up. I'll put this in the group chat. This is really funny. But yeah, like the mask is kind of like a quarter mask over the face a little bit. Actually, it's not even showing up anymore, which is actually kind of good for you, because if it's not easy to find, that's actually really good. But yeah, and it was going to be modded and everything, but I think it worked out perfectly. You didn't have to mod it. This clown mask popped up. I think this kind of looked kind of dope.
Oh my god.
That looks awesome.
No.
No? You could beat that mask to hell and change shit up on it. I think that looks kind of cool. And then this clown mask popped up when you type in clown mask on Amazon.
That one's awesome.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
that
So that's a little bit of the history of a little bit behind the scenes. They were fun nights, pizzas and beers, and yeah. Since then,
Nice.
I no longer have long hair, but I think I made a decision when I talked to Heidi today. I'm growing it back out. I want it back. I miss my long hair. My job's
I
gonna,
think you look pretty good with your long hair. I'm all for it.
yeah, my job's gonna hate it, but I'm over it. I think my computer's acting up again. Please, God, don't do that.
We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and you're worried about how long people's hair are.
I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to grow mine out too. I've always wanted to donate it, so I'm trying to grow it out as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Listen, man. If you know me, I know. Maybe we haven't gotten out of everyone in the room. I don't know Tyler the most, but that fits my MO. There's a global pandemic, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna grow my hair out, because like I just, not that I don't take the world very seriously, but I just kind of go day by day and I beat to my own drum, we'll say.
Right.
Yeah. But
For
yeah.
his own sanity.
Yeah. So originally, I was actually cast to play Benji.
Shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then when I heard of you, and I remember after me and Scotty have kept very, very close in a lot of conversations, the lead up to this movie. Unfortunately, I just couldn't be as part of it as Scotty would want me to be, because I told him, I said, listen, man, when I put my heart into something and I put my mind into something, and it was this podcast, I'm fully in, and I don't want to be half in and half out. Because that was a problem with a lot of us in the first time the movie came around. Like it's very, very hard to get everyone on the same page doing something. Whether you be in a production, whether you be a sport, whether you do filming something, whether it be a band, music, to get 3 or 4 people on board to do something is not easy, let alone a full cast of a production team.
We had 41 people involved, and sometimes we would have about maybe 20 people on set at a time, and managing everybody's schedules was hell.
Yeah, it's not easy. And I didn't want to be more of that problem. So I was like, man, I just can't do it. Like I'll help out anywhere you need me to do. If you want to bounce ideas off me, it's easy for me to just answer a group chat, but it's just going to be really hard to do anything else. So I kind of removed myself from a little bit. But once I seen Tyler and I heard about Tyler, and as soon as I think immediately after you auditioned, I think I got a message, and he goes, "I think we found our Benji," and I was like, "Cool, man." And then I kind of met you at Skookstock, and I was like, "Yeah, I dig it. He fits the bill. I like it."
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of which,
definitely
hella
sucks when we
bombed.
do it.
Oh, we're stepping on each other a little bit.
Hella bummed that might not
Bless
be
me,
happening this
Tyler.
year.
Hold on 1 second. Whoever was just talking, you go again.
I mean, I said it was a blessing that we found Tyler. It did suck though that we lost you as Benji, but doing your podcast was definitely important to you. So I mean,
Yeah. I think when the movie started, I was only doing 2 shows, and then it turned into
Yeah, I
4,
think so.
and then it turned into
you were
5.
doing not.
It-
Well, I mean, you were doing what? You were doing Not Cool in high school. You were doing the wrestling one, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you were doing the UFC one at that time. So I think you had 3.
And then interviews, so that would have been 4.
Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
you were doing 4 when you first started, so it was a lot.
Yeah, what was the other one I added in there? Oh, and then Bangin' Beers came a little later after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was an idiot. I started 4 right off the bat. What a psychopath. Attention, people. If you're going to start a project, start with 1.
Yep.
Yeah. What a fucking idiot I am. Yeah. And then I dropped the MMA one, and now I picked up another one where I'm talking Redskins football. So I'm back to 5 podcasts again. Yay! Yeah. So yeah. So so since then, actually, how was the filming of this movie? You guys have any fun stories or moments of filming this movie? We'll start
How
with
about Tyler? You can go first.
yeah. We'll start with Tyler on this one. Tyler hasn't talked yet.
Okay, good moments. Well, one of the best moments is, well, of course, when Scott has clothes on, but we're just gonna ignore that one. I honestly think some of the best moments are when we all come together and we kind of think of a funny little gag to pull on set. And I hear an echo. But I think one of the best moments was when it was all 4 of us. We were sitting on Yags' couch, and I had the bright idea to have all 4 of our arms locked together, and we were all saying, "We're off to see the wizard from the Wizard of Oz." That was just one of those things where I had so much fun doing it, and it was a really good way to just lighten things up on set and everything. What's another one?
I think that was during our long, 13-hour day shoot.
It was
Yeah.
very tiring that day.
It was
Imagine
very tiring.
being going to a grown ass man's bachelor party and sitting in an RV singing the Pokemon theme song at 4 a.m, half drunk.
Oh, dude, I can totally imagine myself doing that.
A bunch of grown
That's
adults.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember that one.
that's not out of the wheelhouse of this group.
Oh man.
I won't say where we were going, but we were on our way somewhere. Singing, which makes the story funnier, but we can't talk about that. But yeah, 4 a.m, 1 or 2 in the morning, hammered in an RV, singing the Pokemon theme song. Grown ass men.
That's hilarious. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
What was another really good moment? I remember one. We were in Yag's front yard. It was me, him, and Shane, and I don't know why. I don't even know why we were doing it, but all of a sudden we just decided to start doing wrestling moves on each other. and we were in the front yard doing RKOs and stunners and rock bottoms and shit. It was crazy.
For the record, that's our first wrestling reference. Somehow wrestling sneaks into every single show, every single podcast, every single episode. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. And somehow it always finds its way in. Always. It wasn't even me. It wasn't even me. That's the greatest part.
And aside from other things, on set, we also did plenty of things off set too that really grew us together, bonding wise and all that.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll throw a story out to you guys that Scotty has no idea is coming.
Oh no!
Ready? Yeah, here you're ready. Yeah, so Scotty comes to my house to drop off a T-shirt. Now Scotty's been to my house 4 or 5 times. Every single time he comes, he needs new GPS directions. And somehow when he hits my street, his brain doesn't realize I've been on this street before. I'm a block away from where Scotty lived, and he can't put any of that together. So he always parks as soon as you turn the corner. So I guess the only person who's really going to get this is Yags. As soon as you turn the corner to get on 2nd Street, he parks immediately there and then walks the rest of the block up to my house. Doesn't follow his GPS, just pulls into whatever he can find and then walks the rest. So he walk. I go, get in your car and move it up more. Like I purposely left this spot for you to pull in here. And he's as white as a ghost. He's terrified, and he proceeds to tell me how he almost died. So I guess you guys went to the I don't remember the exact name of the location, but there's a spot up by
we're gonna do the ruins.
The ruins, and Scotty's
Frankie's cave and stuff like that.
Yes, that's what it is, Frankie's cave. So Scotty tells me how he was 48 feet above the sky, and then I end up finding out it was only like 5 feet.
Yeah,
maybe 7 or 8, man.
Yeah, enough that he would have fell and bruised himself if he's lucky. So tell us about your adventure at Frankie's cave and how Mr. McCoy here handled that situation.
That actually was going to be my story.
Yeah, tell us the sordid deeds, yeah.
Great minds think alike.
We had some downtime. We had some downtime in between filming, and we're like, yo, let's go exploring these caves and stuff. So we decided to go do that, and it's an old train platform, and there's an old train car and stuff there. And like I said, you're maybe 7 or 8 feet above the ground, and Scotty was just freezing and screaming and crying, and like he couldn't move, and it was hilarious. And like we ended up at one point you had to walk downstairs, and he was afraid to walk downstairs because there was no railing. I mean, it was just incredible. Like I could stand on the ground, and I'm about 6'2", and I could almost my head was almost up to the top of the platform. And he was terrified, and like he would walk 5 feet, and then he would crouch down into a fetal position and start crying because he couldn't move anymore. And like it was, we have a video of it somewhere. I don't know who took it.
God, I need to see
if we can
that.
find it, we gotta share it because it's just funny.
He showed up my house.
I gotta see that.
He showed up my house probably another 2 hours after this all took place, still almost in tears, and then. And then he handed me an extra large women's V-cut neck shirt, and I was like, I'm not wearing this. If this is the shirt, like I'm not, dude. I'm not rocking this. My chest hair will be all over the place. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I grabbed the wrong. Like he when he parked his car, he grabbed this shirt out of the back, opened it, looked at it, and said in his terrified, still panicked brain, this is exactly what Tony wants to wear, and carried it up the street to me.
Oh my God. So Yags, tell them about both the stories of Jethro and your wife, and then the sordid deeds.
Oh my God, dude, that is so funny.
So Scotty is a terrible writer. I mean, he's a good writer. He's a good writer, but he's a terrible writer at the same time. And he would just put random phrases in there that no one on this earth would say during this century.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the one was like, hold the phone, Jethro, or something like that. And I'm like, I literally looked at him and I said it out loud. I'm like, I'm not saying this in the script because my character always had these ridiculous lines.
Yeah.
Only your character too.
While we're going over it, Julie was upstairs, my wife, and she texted me, and she's like, Jethro, did he seriously write that in there? Like, what a moron. And then the other one was, it became like like my character's catchphrase, even though I don't say it once in the whole thing. He wanted me to say, tell me about those sordid deeds. Like, who in their right mind would say those words?
What are you, Dwight Schrute?
Yeah, honestly.
That was the thing,
funny
too.
because I was...
Scotty would try to find, I guess he would try to write the character a little bit to your personality. Because, I mean, all of us were kind of picked, and when I say us, I include me and Tyler. It was kind of written like to your character's style and also your personality. And I was like, is this what you think of me? Is this what you think I would say? Like, I'm like, I'm
Christ, if that's what he thought, well, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, And then I think one of the behind the scenes thing he wanted to do too is he wanted the entire cast to do a dance of Backstreet's Back dance segment.
No, Thriller.
Thriller. That's what it was. Yeah, and I was like, I can't see myself doing that one, man. I love you to death.
I even wrote a whole script of the entire song and who says what lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved working with you and looking forward to it. But Jesus, man, like season 1 the camera wasn't even bought to film season 1, and Scotty was like, "So for season 38, here's what I'm thinking." I'm like, slow down. We don't even know what camera we're gonna be using yet. Like, and you're going, let's talk about season 15. I'm like, Jesus Christmas, my man, you gotta calm down.
I can't attest to that.
Slow your roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I remember some of the meetings, like Nikolai going, he's like, so here's my idea, and Nikolai's like, do you have a crane? Because I don't know how you're getting that shot.
I mean, at one point he wanted people like, my parents' backyard.
Yeah, he wanted someone on the roof.
He wanted someone on the roof of my parents' backyard. I'm like, no.
Yes, that would. I thought that would make an awesome shot, but it was a big hazard.
Yeah, well, here's the thing that we've all kind of learned too, and I even took myself because and then I ended up buying equipment and filming and just setting up a podcast scene in my head, and I have this elaborate style, and then I got to a location and I set up my cameras. I'm like, oh, I need lighting. I need this. This tripod's not going to get me that angle. Holy shit! It's one thing to in your mind to have something thought up of, and then when you actually have a camera and you look down the barrel of it, you're like, oh, this is hard. And I think a lot of that came probably on set when you guys were filming and learning, like, oh, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be when it comes to getting a shot. Yeah, we had to change
a lot of things.
Yeah.
You
look at someone's movie and you're like, oh my god, why didn't they do this? And then you do it yourself and it's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they did it.
Yeah, that's why they did that. They took not the easy way out, but they did what was practical, and because it doesn't fit the budget, and we're not Warner Brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
So Shane, you got any stories?
Yeah, Shane.
Oh God. Well, I'm gonna go follow Tyler on not telling about the Scotty incident. Well, I could test Yags' story a little bit about the Scotty almost crying thing. I was with when we did that, and I almost fell off laughing.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one. I think, what was I doing? Oh, I was helping my stepdad move our hot tub. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to hold Carl's hand.
Another fun fact about that day. Scotty comes to me now for a kid who's writing a horror movie and watches as much horror as this kid does. He shows up at my house. He's like, "Oh my god, I think I have to go to the hospital." I go, "What?" He goes, "I got a scratch on my leg and I bruised." He shows me this scratch.
Yeah.
That literally looks like he scraped a bush, and this kid's like, "I need to go home. I need to get triple antibiotic on this stat, and it's gonna get infected. I'm gonna lose my leg and my
Neosporin.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my god, man. I was like, you are lucky I'm not part of this movie because I would have choked you out.
But I say we actually had like one injury during set on a scene, and of course it had to be me because Yags has to be Superman, and Tyler just didn't expect him to. Actually tore my meniscus.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Torn meniscus on film. That's fun.
Yeah, I had a quick follow Shane to make sure, and I had to bring all the paperwork. Remember, you signed this injury waiver. You can't sue us. He's like, I know, I signed the injury waiver. It's my fault.
I ain't never gonna financially recover from this. It's a Joe Tiger reference. Joe Exotic, I mean.
And of course, I got like a bunch of messages, and my phone was blowing up the next 2 days.
Was it more, hey, how you feeling, or hey, just remember you can't sue me?
Scotty was more mixed half and half. At one point, I was gonna wait till I see Scotty and throw a phone at him and say, "There's your waiver."
Yeah. Guess that piece of paper paid off.
Here's a funny story, though.
Moments though is also when singing with Yags and Tyler were in the room and on YouTube and singing the song.
Yeah.
Oh my
For sure, I
God,
like that.
karaoke. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was fun.
karaoke.
Here's a good story. Oh my God, this is gonna show. This is gonna take a little bit of the scaredy cat out of me a little bit on this one. But we were up in the in Centralia filming the end scene, and most of the cast that was filming that day was covered in blood. We were done filming for the day, and we were getting ready to leave, and it was a wrap, everything was finished, everything was shot. And while we're walking down the bushes, now we're in Centralia, all the way up in the backwoods of Centralia past the cemeteries, and Tyler, oh my God, I think there's a ghost, and everybody is trying to scare him, and he's like, stop it, this is not funny, Scotty.
No, see, the reason for that is because Centralia is a scary place, right?
Not really.
For all you know. No, hold on, hear me out. One wrong step and you could fall. Like, you
Yeah,
could
in
fall
that
to a
aspect, it's
mine or
scary, but
whatever.
I don't think.
And at
yeah.
night, it's not a whole lot better, Like
The ground glow is
Yeah,
easier to see.
I think we were filming. I think we finished filming that day at like midnight or 11 p.m. or something. It was a late shoot. We cut. It was the last thing we needed to film. Was I think our last and our second all day shoot we had to do. Because we mixed things up from the day scenes all during the day. It was like maybe I'd say roughly 6 hours of filming, and then we'd do the same thing at night. We'd start at we'd be on set at 7 a.m. and we wouldn't get done until like 10, 11, 12 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was we knew that we didn't have much time left because it's a fall movie, so we needed the leaves, and it was middle of November, and we're kind of pushing our luck here with snow, and in northeastern Pennsylvania or whatever, you don't know when snow is going to hit at that time.
Usually
And
July.
then with yeah, right. And then with the whole leaves are starting to fall, we need to do this before the trees literally look like it's wintertime, and this is now a December movie instead of it being October, like the plot is saying. So we had to fit everything in that one day because our director wanted to, we didn't know with the filming the one day, and we didn't do a lot of the outside scenes because they were calling for a thunderstorm or something or other, and it didn't rain at all. But we didn't want to risk it with the camera, because if it did rain and we have nowhere to take cover, the camera, which was like $700, is going to be completely useless and a waste of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was we all had a great time. We're like a big family. We do have future projects in the works I can't really talk about right now. But
There's those secret contracts.
Secret contracts. But
it's super secret.
yes, but we are a great big family, and we had a great time. We did a couple of conventions together. We did Skook
Oh,
Stock.
we should share some con stories.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, I didn't go to any of those. I was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably didn't miss
Oh,
out.
man.
Dude, for someone who's as nerdy as I am and into all that shit, I went to one con, and if I never go to another one ever again, I would not care.
Me, I go to cons pretty much for a living.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
My stepdad. No, I actually have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh my
but
God, they're
my
the smelliest
stepdad,
places on earth.
He's depending on which one you go to.
Oh, they all stink.
But
Something about people in cosplay and deodorant, they just don't get along. It's like they're kryptonite. Every con I've ever been to, well, the con I went to, and it was the Steel City Con in Pittsburgh, it literally smelled like a fucking gym. Like, it was just like, did anyone ever attempt just to put soap and water on their armpits at all here? Like, no one gave it a shot. No one gave it a go. It was just, yeah, we're just gonna roll out like this today. This is how we're doing it. Ugh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Couldn't do that for a living.
But like I was saying, I pretty much go to conventions for a living. My stepdad, he's a crafter as well as a comic book dealer and all that. So certain conventions we really go to and we really have a good time. But one I went to, and it was actually one where everyone was supposed to go to, but I don't remember if I neglected to tell Scott or he neglected to look into this, but he was supposed to get tickets ahead of time, and he didn't do that. So, and we found out like the week before we were going to Jersey to do this convention that everybody wasn't able to come, and I was kind of sad about that because I thought it's a horror convention, so I think it'd be a really good way to promote and everything like that. And how was this? There was. All right, so did any of you guys ever hear the movie The Toxic Avenger?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Promo.
The guy who created it was there, and I was having a conversation with him and telling him about it, and he even said, "Well, I'll have to keep a lookout for this," and that was actually kind of cool to me. When you have people who created horror movies that have a large following, or you meet people who were in like very popular horror movies saying, "Hey, I'm going to look out for this film because this looks really, really cool." That kind of says something,
Mm-hmm.
It really sparks the interest of a lot of people. So yeah, Scott, you guys might not have been able to go, but I still promoted the film.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't able to go. I think I was having my 1-year anniversary that weekend. It was the 17th of August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I was.
Yeah.
I was on my honeymoon, so.
Yeah, and I was celebrating my 1 year, so.
Yeah, everybody was off doing shit. But
Yeah, but I did.
Sounds like everyone was getting laid, except Tyler. He was hanging out with the Toxic Avenger.
no, everybody else was getting laid and all that. I'm just hanging out with like really cool celebrities from horror movies, like Danielle Harris and fucking Kane Hodder and shit.
My wife met Danielle Harris.
Get laid. I was getting yelled at.
My wife met Danielle Harris. It was one of her favorite celebrity experiences she's ever had.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah.
I walked up and I told her that too. I was like, I just want you to know, I think you're super pretty.
She's like, cool.
I would like to go to be a vendor at Monster Mania in October, but with the pandemic going on, I don't know how things are going to play out.
Yeah.
They aren't having any tickets for vendors for sale now because of that. I don't know when they're going to have any on for sale at all, if at all. But that one's in Maryland, and it's literally only 15 minutes from where I live. So if everybody's allowed
Hunt
to
Valley.
go, at Hunt Valley. So we can get everybody to go, and we can either get a hotel, or I can have some people stay at my place or whatever. But I think that it would be a great time to go there and do a promotion. And plus, come October, we might be able to get an early release of DVDs to sell.
But I like Jersey more.
Well, if you do the Maryland DC one, I believe, I could be wrong at this, the Exorcist steps are in Maryland, D.C. area.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is district.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the business aspect of things, how is this playing out, and where can we expect this to release and that whole blueprint?
All right, so things may or may not change, and I'll tell you how you can find out if it has changed. It all depends on how this pandemic goes about. But right now, the premiere, we are having a one-night premiere. It's a red carpet event. It starts at 6 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. as well to get inside. You don't have to watch the red carpet if you don't want. And then the screening's at 7 p.m. and we're going to be showing the movie for the general public. And that is in Coaldale, Pennsylvania as of July, I believe it's the 18th. Because we just changed it a couple days ago. Give me 1 second. Let me check to verify. Yes, the 18th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be, starts at 6, doors open at 6, screening at 7. Afterwards, there's a meet and greet with the cast and crew. We might have merchandise for sale. I'm not guaranteed. I'm trying to, it's hard with the pandemic to get things shipped and at a decent time. So, I'm trying to get everything, situated. But, if we don't, then we would be able to do we'd be able to get your information, like an email address, phone number, and we can reach out to you on getting merchandise from us. But either or, that is going to be on July 18th. You can get your tickets. You can either go to Gravestone Films. Go to facebook.com/gravestonefilms to get tickets on there. It'll take you right to our site, or you can go to Samhain Premiere, which is SAMHAIN Premiere. .eventbrite.com, and you can get your tickets on there. They're $10 a person. We have about, I'd say, 100 tickets left. We had a total of 240. We sold about, I'd say, 140 tickets. So
what Scotty meant to say is that there's like 20 some left, so you got to get them quick.
Yes, but no,
undersell. Always undersell. Don't tell them there's 100 left. Then be like, oh, there's 100 left. I can wait till the last second. Tickets are going so fast, so you want to get them as soon as possible.
You do want to get them soon because you don't know when they're going to sell. We've been doing a buttload of interviews, and I'm not even joking. We have been doing a lot of interviews, and we have been selling a lot of tickets. And there are a couple people that have messaged me that they are going to be getting their tickets within the next couple of days or so.
You know what you tell those people? Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
I'll wait till I'll wait till their show. I'll wait till that pops up on my screen. I can't wait to be at Skookstock. Guess how many people who told me they're buying tickets at Skookstock didn't show up that day? All of them.
Yes. But
that's not true. I showed up.
Well, you didn't send me a personal message saying that you were going to buy them.
Yeah. But one thing to know also is that we aren't selling tickets at the door. So make sure that you get your tickets online. Because if you don't get your ticket online and you wait till the last minute and say we sell out or we do have extra, but the ticket sales are ended, and you're like, oh, but I can still go and get them. No, we're not selling them at the door. So make sure to get them as soon as you possibly can. The pandemic may change everything. We may end up selling them at the door with the pandemic. We don't know.
I would. I would always sell tickets at the door. That would be my advice.
Yeah, we're still in discussing with that because if we sell tickets, I have to find a generator to actually get a QR code and to get a ticket like actually made into a form of a ticket. So I'm looking online for that.
Wait, why would you need a generator?
Because we need tickets that could be scanned to get into the theater.
They could buy them right from their phone.
Huh?
You either A, buy them from your phone, or just whatever the ticket price is, they hand you the money and you put it in an envelope and you stamp their hand or something.
Yeah, but we need a way to calculate it because we only can have so many people in the theater. So that's why we're selling 240. So if we have like 100 left, we would need a way that can say how many people bought a ticket, how many tickets are left to sell. So we can't just stamp everybody's hands that pay to come in because if we get overbooked, there's not going to be enough seats.
Yeah.
So that's why we would need a way that we can have exactly the amount of tickets that are left to sell at the door. So that way, if anybody wants to come and buy them, if we sell out of tickets at the door, then we can't let anybody else in because there's no more seats left.
Yeah.
And we're only doing one premiere because the rest of it will be available to watch in select theaters. We are also going to be at the same theater we're having the premiere, which is the Angela Triplex Theater in Coaldale, Pennsylvania. We're going to be showing there as well. It'll be throughout the month of October. Dates are going to vary depending on theater, so it's not like it's going to be this date and it's going to be on for this length. We're an indie film, so with each theater we have a different release date. Mm-hmm. So go to our Facebook page to find out a list of theaters. We'll be posting that throughout the summer of which theaters we definitely got to deal with, where we're going to be, and what dates they're going to be there. The ticket prices do not go based on us. Those are all theater based. The only thing that goes through us price-wise is for the premiere. So anything with prices for the tickets or for snacks and all that, that's all through the theater themselves. We just get a nice little profit from it. So you just go through them. We do have a deal with the Angela Triplex to air there. We also have one with the Cinema Draft House in Hazleton. We have one with the Majestic Theater in Pottsville, and we're currently in negotiations with the Hamburg Strand in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, and the Honesdale Theater in the Honesdale Cinema in Honesdale, Pennsylvania, as well as their sister theaters, which they are located in Georgia, Florida, New Jersey, New York, and Texas.
There's another theater in Pine Grove too, I believe.
I reached out to them. They don't want to have it because they're a Christian theater, so they won't.
That's lame.
Christians, Christians ruin everything.
Yep. So I'll
you agreed. You're going to hell with me.
Oh, I already have
I ain't
my
saying
one
that.
to get punched.
Yeah.
So I will reach out to them again, just to see I can convince them or change their mind with all business. Maybe they'll,
Nope.
be a little hypocritical. And go to the shop. Yeah, I'll try to reach out to them again. But you can go to our Facebook page to find all that out. I'm currently.
Nope, you're chopping up a little bit. Hold
It
on.
is basically
Slow
done.
down. All right, try again.
Okay.
Your
So
connection
I'm
your connection was
also
cutting in and out. There you
working
go.
Got me?
You're good now. Yeah. I was slowing you down
Okay.
because you were saying a lot,
So
but your
I'm-
connection wasn't there.
Okay. So I'm working on an updated version of our website. I'm hoping to get that online this week. If you want, when it's online this week, you can also go to our website, gravestonefilms.com. When that's updated, we'll post it on our Facebook page when it is, and you can also buy tickets directly through there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what Scotty's saying is, when you get your check, buy the tickets now.
Exactly.
Get your check,
tickets
buy.
as soon as possible, because I'm going to guarantee you, we've been on PA Homepage, which is a huge network throughout locally, and we already seen a major increase with being on their ticket sales. I cannot promise you that tickets will not be sold out, so get them as soon as you can.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
after the premiere, what are you guys? Are you looking for distribution or anything like that yet?
So we did get a sale, a contract with Amazon. We will be on Amazon Prime as of Friday, November 13th, 2020. That may change because now we had to re-sign a new contract that states contingent on the pandemic, meaning anything can change based on their business values. On if big releases go on there, then they might have to push us back a little later in the year or into the 2021 season.
Yeah.
It would really depend. But this
does.
pandemic's screwing a lot of stuff up for a lot of people. But as of now, we are still in for November 13th to be on Amazon Prime. You can stream us on there. We will be having DVDs for sale through Amazon. We are planning on having some to sell through us directly, even at conventions and all that in the future. So you could get it through DVDs. We are also looking through other streaming platforms, and we're also in negotiations with AMC's Shudder streaming service.
Yeah, it's a good.
So we have a couple of.
They actually
things.
stepped their game up big time. When we first subscribed to it, it was not good. There was not a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
And when I say good stuff,
Yeah.
I mean good B-rated stuff. So, but they're
Yeah.
So
in.
it was like so it's pretty much like Netflix.
Shudder is basically Netflix for B-level independent horror films.
Yeah. Well, no, there's a lot of major ones in there now, and then they have exclusives,
Okay.
and then they have a lot of independent films on there now too. It's really really good. Like I don't want to say the movies that were on there weren't good because they were, but it's a lot of ones that you have to like. If you're going on there to see like ones that you thought you were going to see in
You have to
theaters,
drink to enjoy them.
yeah,
Right.
Because when Netflix first started off as a thing, I used to watch tons of horror movies on there, and they were like, people would give them like a half a star, and I'd be like, I'm gonna watch that, and I'd watch it and be like, this movie is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and I know we're all. I'm looking up the name of the site. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. But I know we're talking to them about something as well. Cinestream, that's it. Cinestream. So basically, it's the streaming platform, kind of like Shudder and Netflix, but smaller. The only thing that we have to do is pay an application fee once we're accepted. And then once we get accepted, we have to pay. I think it's like $20. It's nothing major. But once we get accepted, we will be able to be on there, and you'll be able to watch us, watch the movie on there as well. We're also talking to other places. Sika TV is another place. They mostly do independent TV series, but they also do some independent movies, so we're talking to them. A couple of other places. So, just keep in with the Facebook page, facebook.com/gravestonefilms. You'll be able to see a bunch of our locations where you can see it in theaters, where you can see it in the on streaming services where you can get DVDs, merchandise, which you can get our merchandise as well on teespring.com/stores
Good old
/
Teespring.
Gravestone Films. Yeah, they're great. They're great. And we don't have to do anything. So even if you don't like your merchandise that came in, if it came in damaged or if it came in whatever happened to it, or we don't deal with it. You have to deal with Teespring. So they're very good. Like they take care of all the main parts that is a hassle with, smaller companies.
I think I sent you over to Teespring, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I sent everyone there.
And also, here's a little sneak, well, not really sneak peek, but side note to look for in the movie. We actually promote interviews with everyday people with an interview segment on there. No, Tony doesn't host it. I asked him; he didn't want to do it. But we do have an interview.
Who does play the interviews with everyday people person?
Yes, you do play the.
No, I said who plays the interviews with everyday people person?
Oh, his name is Jacob Soklobin. He is actually Brenda Soklobin's son. She plays Catherine, Justin's estranged wife in the movie.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yep. Yep. You play the radio newscaster. So
I do. I play a radio newscaster. Imagine that.
Yes. Yep. And we also we give a little shout out to interviews with everyday people there, and me and Tony did a little exchange, didn't we, to promote each other. So that was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I believe too that the radio network I work for is called the IwEP network. So little
Nice.
Little teaser in there too, I believe. And I think
exactly.
I have a little Marvel teaser at the end as well. So stay for the credits.
Yes. exactly. And I also know that
yeah.
I'm gonna announce this for the first time. This is the hype up the premiere, but I want you all to get your tickets to the premiere because we're gonna do a little contest about a couple of things in the movie that we would like you to find out. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna announce that at the premiere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there plans for a part 2?
How can I word that?
We'll just say there's more
Maybe.
Gravestone production films coming, right?
Yes, there's more information coming. I will let you know that when you watch the movie from start to finish, you might have your answer.
Okay. What are some of your? We'll wrap this up with this last question here. We'll let everyone have a chance to answer.
Okay.
We'll start with Shane because Shane's been pretty quiet the whole time. What are some of your horror movie influences? Some of your favorite horror movies?
Oh, man.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, damn. I don't know if I should answer that question now. I don't want to die.
You can say your favorite scary movie, just say you won't be back.
Samhain.
Tyler's safe because he didn't get laid the
one.
day of the con, so he didn't have sex, so he's good. He's not going to die.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes.
I'm safe.
I would say right now I've been watching a lot of found film horror videos, movies. Like
What do you
started
think?
rewatching like
What do you think the greatest found
The
film?
Gallows.
Okay, Gallows. Blair Witch Project's the godfather of all of them. I think that movie gets a bad rap.
Grave Encounters. Like Grave Encounters.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going like classics, my favorite classic horror genre, trilogy, series, everything, I have to go with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It's my favorite. I'm a Freddy Krueger fanatic.
Yags?
I mean, if we're going just like slasher films, I'd have to go with Halloween, and like I love the whole series, even episode 3.
Episode
Season
3
of Witch, even though it had nothing to do with it.
Part
But
3 is actually
I
probably
love
their best movie.
Yeah, I wish they would have stuck with that whole thing they were doing with doing each individual movie based off of that then. But
I know we debate that one heavily, the Halloween series.
yeah, one one that I don't know if a lot of people have heard of before. It's called Hell Night, and it stars Linda Blair, and it's just it's really good. I would suggest checking it out if you haven't before.
Tyler?
Cool.
Oh, I just chopped that shit
Alright. That depends. There's like a lot of horror movie influences, and I kind of want to go outside of slashers for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I mean we didn't.
we'll start with my
we didn't put
favorite
you in a box.
slashers
You can say whatever you want.
So I think I'll start with my favorite slashers. Definitely Friday the 13th and Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I found something about Jason being very, very appealing, you know, and especially the formula for the film. You know, a bunch of naked teens getting killed at a summer camp. You can't get better than that.
Boobies always help in horror movies.
And not only that, the simplistic design behind Jason itself. Like, who knew that a mask that looked so simple could be so scary for years to come, you know? And kind of pushing away from slashers a bit, I have to say another one is all of Romero's movies. I absolutely adore George A. Romero's work, especially how he interprets a zombie apocalypse. It's definitely something I can get behind. And finally, one of my favorite genres of horror film, vampire movies, The Lost Boys, in particular. I don't know. I just found something about it being very badass and very cool to watch. Bunch of teenagers kicking a vampire's ass. I don't know. That seems really cool.
Awesome. Scotty.
Edgar Funk for the win.
All right, so I'm going to start off with slashers, of course. Friday the 13th got me into the genre of slasher movies. I saw the 7th part first out of all of them, and I had a crush on, like, a majority of the cast, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then, like, just seeing them get killed was, like, very, like, inspiring. Like, I just thought it was really cool. So I end up
you have a weird
going
king,
back.
Scotty. Jesus.
I know. So I ended up going back to the first movie and watched them all from the beginning. What inspired Samhain, believe it or not, was Halloween. If you haven't gotten it from our little talk about the Michael Myers mask, yeah, and Relic's clown and all that, but like just the simplicity of it. Like a lot of the shots were made to be like a kind of like a Halloween. If you look at the beginning when Relic enters the home, like all of that is kind of a take on Halloween 2, where he enters the home of that neighbor Alice. So it's like kind of like just a lot of that has a lot of Halloween elements in it. That was, especially with it being a low budget picture, that kind of inspired us to do a lot of stuff, was the Halloween franchise. In terms of regular horror movies, like Tyler said, George A. Romero was a genius. I loved Night of the Living Dead. That was one of my favorites. Also, Psycho, even though that's more of a slasher, that's a slasher. That was like I wouldn't say it's the first slasher. I did hear that there were other slashers before that were not really well known, but to me that is where the slashers kind of started in a way. I love Psycho, 1960s classic. Janet Leigh, mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. You think she's going to be the final girl, and you're dead wrong. Like it's just a great movie. Yeah, those are my favorites. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but not the second one, but you know what I mean? Like, I love A Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's not my favorite. I will watch it. I would love it, but I prefer, Friday the 13th and definitely Halloween over anything else. And of course, I have to be biased, but my favorite modern day slasher gotta be Samhain.
Jesus.
Of course. I mean, you kind of have the right to be a little biased, I guess.
Yes, I have to be, right?
Toot toot your own horn, right? Toot toot, motherfucker. Yeah, when it comes to a lot of horror, like everyone you said, everyone that said is perfect. Some of them I do disagree. Two of them were actually my favorites growing up, but as I got older, they actually tarnished on me. That being Halloween and Halloween the most, because Jesus Christmas, if you try to watch I think we did it 2 years ago. Me and Heidi went and watched the whole thing from beginning to end, like every single one. And I was like, these movies are garbage. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, they don't even follow their own storyline. I said, people get so mad that somebody rebooted this movie. I said, they rebooted themselves 14 times. Like, it was, I said, this character was dead in the last movie. Now they're back and they're not even going to talk about it. I was like, yeah. When it comes to timeline, Jesus, Halloween is probably the worst franchise of all time. Nightmare on Elm Street was my favorite growing up, but as a horror movie fan, I can't really consider it a horror movie, because after Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, you're rooting for the bad guy to kill everybody. You're like, yeah, go for your team Freddy more than your team the rest of the kids. Yeah. The movie I hated growing up was Friday the 13th, and I think now it's my favorite movie series. I think besides going to space and Manhattan, that
and hell and in bodies.
Yeah, it kind of
like a Night of the Creeps.
It kind of holds up the best, but yeah. And if you're gonna talk George Romero, the greatest movie ever made is Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah, that was great
Hell
too.
yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my personal favorite.
Bob was the best zombie ever.
Yeah. Now all those
Gotta
movies were
love
shot.
Bob.
All those movies were shot in Pittsburgh. So like Pennsylvania is like the
Nice.
birthplace of the zombie.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that I loved about Romero is the fact that he was a local man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say local. That's about 3.5 hours away, but it's close.
local as in like state.
All right, yeah,
wise.
yeah. I'll go with that one. We'll go with that one.
And do a zombie movie.
What's that?
Said hint, do a zombie movie in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
One
never.
thing I do have
that's
to
never
say
been
though
done.
is for future and inspiring filmmakers though, go look at interviews with Roger Corman, because he did things with very low budgets and he did actually some pretty cool work.
Yeah. Did you ever see? Did you see that Korean zombie movie? When they're on the train.
Train Busan.
Oh, it was awesome.
I love it. And they're coming out with a sequel.
Oh, really?
Here's one.
Yep.
Here's a movie that is also pretty local. I mean, it was filmed probably like 45 minutes away, but did you guys ever hear of the movie The Blob?
Yeah.
Yes,
Blob.
yeah.
With Steve McQueen? Yeah.
Yeah, Steve McQueen. It was filmed down in the Colonial Theater.
Mhm.
Yeah. In fact, they're actually they're supposed to be hosting a festival there.
Yeah, they do it every year. It's called Blobfest.
Yeah, I go there. I go there every year.
Nice.
But if this whole shindig keeps going on, you know.
Awesome. All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you guys want to plug, talk about before we let you go? Start with Tyler.
I don't really have much of anything. You know, I mean, I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to do this.
You don't want to promote that sex tape you made?
No. We don't talk about that.
It's on the fan only page.
Yeah. It's on the fans only. On the fans only. You want to see it, you got to pay. No, I don't really have anything.
What about 1111 Creations?
Oh shit, that's right. A lot of a good bit of the props that we used were actually provided by my stepfather's business.
Nice.
You can look him up on Facebook, 1111 Creations. Like 1111 is in like the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you could definitely give that a good peek. You can message him, see if he has anything that will interest you. Which more than likely, if you're into horror, probably you will find something to tickle your fancy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I really have. Thank you, Scott, for reminding me.
Not a problem.
Totally would have slipped my mind.
I plan on asking your stepdad to do a like relic chocolate bar for us for
yes.
conventions.
Yes, that is actually one thing that my stepfather does is he makes horror-inspired chocolates, and they look really, really cool.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Shane, we'll go with Shane next.
Well, one thing I want to say is when you watch this film, yeah, it's not a masterpiece, but look at the potential everybody in this film has.
Mm-hmm.
That's why one thing I want to say, and also keep an eye on our Facebook page. Our website's coming up and all that, because we will be doing a lot more stuff. So don't just think, look at this film, this is all they're going to do, and that's it. We will be doing a lot of different stuff.
Yep.
Awesome.
And also, if you're expecting, and also if you work with Scotty, just to let you know, he will talk your ear off.
Yeah, invest in a
About
therapist.
15 years of future work.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're booked to your 65.
Yep. Me and Shane have been friends since what? 2005, 2006.
Yeah, back in high school, we went to Votech together, computer programming.
Yep.
Nice.
And we were always talking about doing movies and that. And one day I was just going to give up on doing movies and all that. I had stuff written out and all that. And I got a random message from Scotty. Hey, you remember us talking in high school about doing movies? And I'm like, yes. Why? And he goes, oh, I'm doing a web series. I want you to be a part of it. Okay, sounds good to me.
Sign me up.
I thought it was a joke, but he was telling the truth.
Yep, went from a web series to a full feature. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
So don't ever give up on doing something you want to do. Just you never know what's going to throw at you.
Yeah.
Here's my thing too. I've actually gotten to some talks with some people. A lot of people, obviously, it's just people in our area. They just like, oh, look at these guys. Like, listen, if you do nothing with yourselves, or you've never had an idea, or you never had a dream, or you never had a passion, and you haven't willing to put in money or worth or time or effort into something, don't shit on it, because you're literally one of the worst types of people on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just my type of thing. If you've never created, or if you never went out of your way to actually pursue something, even if it turned out like, I'm not saying this movie is, but because listen, you can go back and watch some of my earlier interviews or some of my earlier videos. Dude, I had no idea what I was. Yeah, and that was the worst one. I'm joking. No, but I didn't know how to set up microphones. I didn't know how to set up a soundboard. I learned as I go. Like, so if you watch quality from the beginning to now, I think it sounds a lot better. I mean, it looked good until the camera aspect of it stopped. But you got to let people grow too. Not everyone comes out of the park and hits a home run. But as long as you're willing to step up to the plate and swing that bat, you got all the respect in the world from me.
Correct.
Yags, what do you got?
I mean, I just want to say thanks for having us on, Tony.
Anytime.
If you guys make it to the end of this, definitely check out everything else on Interviews with Everyday People, the whole network, Banging Beers, Not Cool in High School, everything like that. Check out Gravestone Films. Check us out on Facebook, and we hope to see you at the premiere.
Awesome.
Yep.
And I figure I'll put this one on because we're about an hour and 11 minutes. So let's start. Let's get the choir ready for the play them off. But Scotty, what else you got to plug?
All right. Where do I start?
I want to thank God.
I want to start off, continue with what Shane was saying, because I was going to mention that if you expect to see a Hollywood blockbuster, then don't see the movie, because you're not going to see a Hollywood blockbuster. You're going to see a group of people that don't have any experience with no money that filmed an entire full feature film in 3 months. Now, it doesn't mean the movie's not good. The movie is actually pretty good for what we were given, and it's actually not that bad. And it's better than what most people can do, and it's more than most people have done. But I'm just letting you know, it is an independent film. It was done with a $0 budget that we used all of the money from our own personal paychecks, and it was completed from start to finish. And filming-wise, in 3 months. It was like a 2-year project, but it was a 3-month filming schedule. And not many people can say they made a full feature film and filmed it in 3 months, and we can say that. Mm-hmm. So I give myself, I give my executives, and I give my cast and my crew tremendous props. I thank them all tremendously and dearly from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to working on future projects. If you're not involved and you were with the first film in, say, a second film or another project, doesn't mean that you won't be involved in a future project. You are all Gravestone family, and I completely thank you all for everything you have done for me, because without you, this film project would be nothing. Outside of that, I have a couple books in the works. I have the ultimate A Nightmare on Elm Street trivia book in the process, which I've been working on for like 3 years now after the Halloween one. I do have the 3rd edition of the ultimate Halloween trivia book that will be released sometime in the fall-winter season of 2020 after the new movie comes out.
Take a breath. Take a breath. That's okay. There's no rush here.
I know.
You're like, you know when someone gets the end, they're getting close to the end of their breath, and they really struggle to get that last one. Breathe, man. Breathe. You're going to pass out.
So the ultimate Halloween trivia book 3rd edition will be released. No release date yet. It'll be winter maybe of 2020. After the new movie comes out, it'll include that as a new chapter with 100 multiple choice questions after that. Plus, I'm including a crossword puzzle in the bonus chapter, as well as some extra bonus questions. Other than that, I also have, of course, the Samhain book that is coming out. If you expect the exact movie to be in the book, think again. I include a lot of the stuff in the original script, a lot of the stuff that we didn't film, a lot of stuff that we did film but was taken out during editing. I included a lot of things that were taken out during editing because it wasn't visually possible through visual effects. And I do include Sword of Deets and Hold the Phone Jethro.
Awesome.
And Jason Reese, a.k.a. Yag, says it.
All right.
So bad. Oh my God.
Oh, yep. So,
go ahead.
yeah, that all that plus Gravestone Films. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/gravestonefilms. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/gravestonefilm without the S. You can follow us on Instagram at Gravestone Films Prod. And on YouTube, which is youtube.com/gravestonefilms, which is a lot of my personal stuff on there. My interviews with celebrities, which is with Slasher Scotty, which you can hear on iTunes and Spotify. I also have like little clips of like death scenes for all the Friday the 13th and Halloween deaths and all that stuff. But I also include a lot of stuff on there on Gravestone Films, as well, like our little teasers. And then, of course, stay tuned on our Facebook page for our website, which is currently online at www.gravestonefilms.com. But that is the whole design, layout, everything on it is going to be eventually changed into something better and easier on the eyes and easier to navigate. But that's it.
Awesome. Well, it was a journey. We've made it. We all survived. We've all survived. No relic in sight. I actually I was doing an interview in Pottsville. And I was set up inside this local business that's no longer there at the moment, which kind of sucks because this whole thing kind of put them under. But as I'm doing my interview and I'm eating hot sauces and I'm fucking struggling and I'm like crying and I hate my life, I look over at the window and then there's Brett standing in the window waving at me, and I was like, oh boy, all right, this is happening. So Brett joined us. So awesome. A little bit of a plug to the movie as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you don't mind sending me in this group chat we have, send me all the links of everything you guys want plugged. And if any of you guys ever want to join on any other podcast, or you have anything else you ever want to plug, let me know and we'll get you in. The sooner you get me in, the sooner I can get you on.
Right.
And thank you guys all so much. I appreciate you doing it.
Hey,
we look forward to the movie.
One quick thing I forgot. I have one more story I forgot to tell about Brett. Oh my God, this was hilarious and scary at the same time.
Well, how about we do this? How about you save the Brett story when you Brett, and Amanda are on?
Okay, that works. We can do that.
Put that in the notes.
Alrighty. Yes.
Alrighty.
I will.
And all right, so thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. This is Interviews with Everyday People and the movie Samhain, but I'm going to call it Samhain. See you guys next time.
Thanks, Tony. Later, guys.
Tony.
Without medication, can't let my thoughts run wild while I still think I got one, and I care too much about my reputation, and I'm tired of sleeping on this floor. Yeah, I'm tired of sleeping on this floor.